The American Recut, a spoiler-free review show where I, Nick,
And I, Brendan, dissect films and television to save you from atrocious media. Toy Story 4. When a new toy called Forky joins Woody in the gang, a road trip alongside old and new friends reveals how big the world can be for a toy. Directed by Josh Cooley. Written by John Lasseter and Andrew Stanton. Alright, well, that's Toy Story 4, hopefully the last one of the long installment. I thought the third one was going to be the last one, honestly.
it should have been.
It should have been. It really should have been. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the story.
The story for this one is nothing too surprising. It's pretty much what you expect from the trailers. Woody goes on a road trip, things happen, lessons are learned.
Oh yeah, no.
It reminds me a lot of Toy Story 2 as far as the story goes and the should I go or should I stay angle.
It also kind of reminds me of Toy Story 1, because a new toy gets on the...
A little bit, though. Toy Story 1 was much more about just the desperate search to get back to Andy's.
Yeah.
So I do feel like the story of this one was more of an echo and response to Toy Story 1 than it was to 2 or 3, but that's neither here nor there. Let's dive to the characters next. Now, this does feature a lot of new characters.
And old.
And of course, they're all voiced by celebrity voice. We have Key, we have Peel, we have Keanu, we have all kinds of voice actors and actors that come in just to voice these characters. And generally with the new characters, I didn't really like them.
I thought they were alright. They weren't anything too special, but,
They were fine.
They moved the story along. They added some comedic effects.
I disagree, but we'll get into that later. The effects. It's a Pixar film. Themes.
Well, I'll say for effects. Toy Story has come a long way from Toy Story 1, you know what I mean? Like, you could definitely see the detail in some of the characters, the gleam in some of Woody's porcelain.
And they definitely do go out of their way to showcase that, but saying that a Pixar film has good effects doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, yeah, it's got good effects. It's competent.
It's a trademark. It's almost expected of them, but it's pretty. I'll say that. It's pretty.
Though I will note that this one didn't have some of the spectacle of previous Toy Story films for settings, and generally the same for pretty low-key or not terribly impressive overall. So it's not exactly a visual extravaganza, but it does look pretty good.
Themes, and like Nick said, it is kind of a callback to some of the older Toy Story movies. Moving on from the past, transitioning, etc., etc.
Sort of, though this one also deals with purpose.
Yeah.
In life in general. And it deals with that in some ways that are a little bit interesting, but generally don't feel quite right for the movie. I'll get into exactly why later, but I'd say the themes aren't especially strong in this one. They're a central point of the movie, and they're hugely important to the movie, but I don't feel like they're strong themes.
Now, given what we just discussed, would you say that this... would you recommend seeing this movie in theaters?
I'd recommend it as long as you're okay with kind of witnessing the degradation of Pixar in general. Because this is another very forgettable Pixar sequel. In my opinion, one that was completely unnecessary. I don't think that it did anything that Toy Story 3 didn't do better.
I'll agree with you, yeah. Like we said, it should have ended at Toy Story 3. Toy Story 4 was just unnecessary. It was not a bad movie, but just unnecessary.
It's another one where it's a movie in a theater, and you probably want to forget about it within hours.
Yeah. Toy Story 4, I'd recommend seeing in theaters, because, you saw the other 3 in theaters, so why not?
Because we have standards.
Yeah. Alright, well, this has been Brendan.
And this has been Nick.
We'll
see you at the Rainbow Lawn.
Yeah.